In this video, we're going to cover 34 ways to get a green card, 3 ways to get a super green card, and if you stay all the way to the end, we're going to have 5 bonus ways to get a green card that's in Congress being debated now. Let's get started. You can get a green card if your spouse is a U.S. citizen, you're under 21 and one of your parents are a U.S. citizen, you were or have been adopted by a U.S. citizen, one of your children are over 21 and they are U.S. citizen. So those are the immediate relatives, the fastest way to get a green card. Now let's move on. If you're unmarried, over 21 and your parents are U.S. citizen. If you are married, over 21 and your parents are U.S. citizen. Or if you are unmarried, under 21 and your parents are a green card holder, or unmarried, over 21 and your parents are a green card holder, or if your spouse is a green card holder, or if your siblings are U.S. citizen. All ways to get a green card. Key takeaway, there really is a perk to being single and moving in with your parents later in life. Now, if none of these categories apply to you, you gotta think outside of the box. Is there a way to get Uncle Sam to get grandma a green card and grandma to get your dad a green card and dad to get me a green card? This is a puzzle, we can figure it out. Now, the employment-based green cards. If you want an international award like the Olympic medal, or if you want a lesser award, but you're amazing in the arts, business, or science, like my client who invented a new dumpling. Third, if you're an outstanding researcher or professor, like Dumbledore. Please, those are EB-1A categories. You're extraordinary. The US will give you a green card to get you in. If you're executive of an international company, that also counts. Think CEO, CFO, CIO, CTO, COO, CAO, CBO, CCO, whatever combination in the alphabet, as long as you're an executive, that counts. If you're a manager of a company, that also counts. Think regional manager, chain manager, Western Hemisphere manager, branch manager. As long as you're sort of manager of an international company, that also counts. Or if you're a functional manager of an international company, that also counts. Think Q from 007, managing nobody, but you make the whole company function. Now onto the jobs. If your work requires advanced degree, your work is of national importance, if your work requires skilled labor, unskilled labor, or you are a professional that the US needs, those all count. These are 5 different categories, EB2, EB3 categories. Basically, it's what the US lacks. Now, the EB4 category is kind of a catch-all kind of category. You ready? If you work in a religious occupation for a religious institution, think minister. Or if you work in a non-religious occupation for a religious institution, like a violinist for a worship band, you're a special immigrant juvenile, meaning you were neglected or abused as a kid. Or if you are a victim of a crime, you're trying to help the cops catch the bad guy. Or you're claiming refugee or asylum status in the US. You're coming to work as a news reporter for a media agency. Or you serve as an Afghan or Iraqi translator. Or you have just been living in the US since 1972. All of these categories will get you a green card through the EB4 process. All right, EB5, the funniest of them all. If you invest $900,000 or $1.6 million in your own business or somebody else's business, the US government will give you a green card. The US is not for sale, but green cards are. You can also win the green card lottery or receive a presidential pardon. These are all the normal ways to get a green card. Now let's talk about the super green card. A super green card is basically a US citizenship. If you are a US citizen, basically you have a super green card, you have the right to vote, and you have a US passport, along with other rights and privileges. Now, there are ways to directly get a US citizen without getting a green card first. Here's a couple ways. We all know if you're born inside the US, you're automatically a US citizen. But if you are born outside of the US and your parents are US citizen, you can't directly get a US citizenship through them. Or if you're born outside of the US, but you're adopted by US citizen parents, you can also directly become a US citizen. Or if your grandparents are US citizen, you can bypass your parents and directly get your US citizenship status through them. Or if your parents are green card holders and they're becoming US citizens, you can tag along and directly get your US citizenship with them. So these are 4 different ways that you can directly get your US citizenship without having to go through a green card process. So that's 37 ways to get a green card. Now I'm going to talk about 5 bonus ones. Now before I do, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe below. Now here are 5 bonus ways to get green cards. These are all laws being debated in Congress. If enacted, they will lead to paths to get green cards. Number 1, Dreamers, DACA. You've probably read them in the news. Basically, these are a group of people who've been here ever since they were kids. For all intents and purposes, they're just like every other American. Now they're graduated high school, graduated college, and now they're members of society. We need to find a way to get them a green card or deport them, and the green card is a better option. TAPA. The parents of these dreamers ought to have a way to get a green card as well, right? You can't just save the kid, but then you toss the parents back, right? And if the kids get a green card, they'll have the normal channels to get the parents to get a green card. So why don't we just come up with a package and get the parents a green card as well? Number 3, healthcare workers. We are in a pandemic right now. Maybe for the next few years we'll be struggling. We need a path for healthcare workers to be able to streamline, to come into the US, to serve the normal EB1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels is not just gonna work because it takes too long. Citizenship for children of US personnel. Right now, if you're children overseas and your parent is a US citizen serving in the military, you cannot come to the US. There's gotta be a way around that. Last but not least, green cards for national security innovators. If you can invent something that is of critical importance to the national security, you can get a green card. So these are all 5 bills that are being debated. If passed, will lead to different ways to get a green card to make America great. So that is 42 different ways to get a green card. If there's anything that I missed or anything that you think the US should consider, please leave a comment below and let me know. This is super fun making these type of videos. If there's anything that you think I should make, please let me know. I love doing policy discussions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.